born out of a need to help business and industry improve, their training opportunities. So we did that through online learning, but it was still a very new concept. So we had a lot of people from the business, from our business department, for example, going out, just trying to sell the idea of what online learning and online training was.
Michigan Virtual was created really to help employers, and really the initial focus, which obviously has since changed, was just on workforce training, and there was a gap in the types of training options employers had, so Michigan Virtual was created to address that.
I think, as the case with anybody who's trying to be innovative, we tried in a lot of different areas, and the one area that seemed to have the greatest public value in terms of return on investment was the K-12 sector, in trying to help address critical needs that the K-12 community was facing back in 2000. And that really started with a huge lever, which was trying to address some equity issues around the state. As an example, 45% of our high schools didn't offer a single advanced placement course that year. And we brought online, I believe it was 17 or 18 AP courses that very first year of operation. So we've played a significant role in trying to help introduce a new delivery model to the K-12 community. And in doing that, I believe we've provided some learning opportunities that students wouldn't otherwise have access to.
The class was kind of a combination of very slow internet and what the internet could support back then, and also we got videos and training material on CDs, which in today's age seems super backwards because the internet's so fast now. But so we would have to load the video and watch it on an old big CRT monitor, and the analytics and the mathematics and the data analysis that I do every day, a huge step along that path was this calculus class, and how good the material was even back then. Even with all the technology problems we had, I never liked math as much until I took that class.
I use Michigan Virtual because it allowed me to take a physics class that my school stopped offering. And I need that physics class because it's recommended I have that for the college I'm going to, so it's a lot engineering-based, math-based, and physics really helps me apply all of that and put it together into something. And I want to go into computer science, so if I get into simulations, I really need that physics to have a comprehension of what's actually happening in the real world, so I can remodel that.
Charles is actually in his second semester with me. He took Physics A in the fall, and now he's taking Physics B. And this has been a great fit for him because he's a student that's hungry to learn, and he really likes to catch on to new things. And when Charles is working, it's me addressing just Charles. I address one student at a time. So with Charles, he's ready to move ahead. So I move ahead with him versus him having to wait for me to move the rest of the class ahead.
What I like best about Michigan Virtual is that you can do you can go at your own pace. It's really helpful because if you're fast, you finish it early and then you can work harder. And if you're slow, you can take your time. I chose French because it's not offered at my school. And I'm taking a high school course, and I'm an 8th grade student. I'm in middle school, and so it's cool that I can take a high school credit before I actually get into high school.
My relationship with Michigan Virtual started when I was a principal and superintendent in Cadillac Area Public Schools, where I spent 30 years. And that's where I first met the folks from Michigan Virtual via their course offerings, which we took advantage of for our high school students back in the day. And they continue to grow, reform. They've spent a lot of resources on research and development to improve the quality of both the delivery of their courses and quality of content. So as a principal and superintendent, I was always grateful for that work.
I've only been at Massa for 3 years, but I know there's been a deep relationship for many years prior to that. But especially in the last 3 years, we've done a lot together. We're working on a number of initiatives, from microcredentialing to all kinds of other things that we think are cutting edge, that we need Michigan Virtual to help us out because we don't have the capacity, nor quite frankly some of the expertise that they bring to the table.
now the state is starting to talk about microcredentialing and digital badging. And, this is something that MASSP and some of our other partner organizations have been interested in for a long time, and it's been difficult. So knowing that Michigan Virtual can help support that work really, I think, is going to significantly increase Michigan Virtual's footprint. So I think it's been really ongoing and growing, and I think that's really a tribute to Jamie and his staff.
That vision of what education could be like for students and professionals in the state is what drives our technology. That is why we continue to thrive as an organization. Technologies come and go, but it's this vision of how can we improve our students' lives and the professionals who provide those learning opportunities for students. That's why we're still here.
When I look back at my career in government, being in and around government, it's probably one of the things I'm most proud of is being part of this organization, because it's really focused on doing what's right, not what's most politically expedient.
So the thing that I'm most proud of is when I look back at 20 years of providing service to Michigan is the fact that we've served over 250,000 students with a quality online learning experience, and that feels significant.